Hello everyone, my name is Magdala Ramirez and I come from the Maya Mexica tradition. I'm so happy to be with you today because we are still in this beautiful, powerful energy wave of the ancestors that it is called Mazatl, the deer, the pathfinder. And today we're going to be talking about the path of the human being, the true human being. This has been quite a journey for human beings because you see that original beautiful human being that you are, it is in there, it is inside of you. So we're going to see beyond that big, thick layer of separation that it has been operating in the world for such a long, long time. Wars and destruction and the people, how they feel inside of themselves because we are one. So I was thinking how deeply it is the traumas in many tribes, in many people, groups of people, and how in so many ways that pain and suffering has been transmitted from one person to another, from life to a life. You inherit all these traumas and all this separation. And people begin to operate based on that trauma, based on memories that it keeps everyone apart and keep on perpetuating that patriarchal system. You see, the patriarchal system, it is really not outside of you. The system is inside of you, and in there, that's where the spiritual work resides. Working with that thick layer of separation and seeing beyond, it is pushing that reset button of what it means to be human being. The mother was talking about pain can be transmitted life to life in simultaneous life, even person to person. Yet so is love. Pain is a phase of love, even when it is distorted. But it is just not resolved yet. In there, that's where you work on it and beginning to see love no matter what is the situation. It is always love involved. So it is always the path of being human in one way or another. Human beings, naturally, they are a peaceful being by nature, really. Human beings are loving beings. And you see, the ancestors in that time and space, there were no separation between male or female because they understand this world of polarities and how they need to come together inside of yourself, understanding these two forces. So it was not such a division of subconscious mind and conscious mind. It was all part of the whole. Human beings were integrated. It has nothing to hide. Everything was a big revelation. And accordingly was that frequency range, the revelation always go deeper and deeper. And this is how it works naturally. You receive the next octaves from the planet Earth, for this beautiful planet, that it keep on unfolding the next truths available. And how do this work within your own self? It is always that place within yourself that it is always evolving. Yes, human being, the true human being, is a multidimensional being. Means you have the ability to change the perception of reality. The perception of reality is very much accordingly to that frequency range. When you begin to evolve, immediately that perception changes. It means you are healing whatever separation you have within your own self, whatever distortion of love you have deep inside of you. So, how do you remember? Well, also, you have the ability to recognize truth. Why? Because you have always been truth. When you see this place within yourself and understand how interconnected we are one to another in our environment, and see the trees, each one of them, as a different spirit, each one of them as connecting with you personally means communicating with you. It truly creates a very different story. When you see those flowers, each one connected to you in a deep manner, you understand that communication, that it is taking place within you. The true human being has this ability to recognize this because it's nature. You are nature. You have always been nature. You're bonded with the planet. And she is evolving too. And as she is evolving, she is also leaving behind all the things that doesn't belong there. So we have a little situation in there. Human being, for such a long, long time, it has been destroying planet Earth. They are there about money and power and creating laws that allow the destruction of this planet. This is part of the infection of the human being, that thick layer of separation, that disconnection with your own nature. And as she is evolving, she is very much resolving those parts of herself that it is very much autodestructive because she is evolving. The ancestors knew about the time of the evolution of the planet. They talk about it even before the invasion came in Mexico. They knew what it needed to happen in order for her evolution. In that time and space, it was very, very separated. In the Americas, the people knew all these ways of astrophysics and mathematics. The pyramids, they were showing so many of how it is related with the cosmos. Our relatives, our ancestors from the stars, and how they came in here, as well as the time of the Lemuria and the time of the Atlantis. That they came and brought all these new teachings too, and how it is so completely interconnected. Because in that time and space, our ancestors knew all the way to the 17th dimension, and then they say, and there is more. While in the other side of the planet, still they were thinking that the earth was flat. And it wasn't too much big in science. It was about that war and destruction, about that. So it needed to happen, the ancestor says, and they say, our sun is going down, but it will rise again. And por mi raza hablará el espíritu means from my race the spirit will speak. And as we speak about this, we are remembering. We are remembering the times where everything consciously was one and the same. The interconnection that you have with the one that created you. And your responsibility to connect with it. Your incredible powers that you have through your senses, that it was not through that limitation. You were able to understand the deep connection to the stars, the deep connection with the star beings, because we are one and the same. And you have this incredible ability to choose. I keep on insisting for the people to choose it consciously, because you are choosing your own reality. And as you grow in your frequency range, your possibilities come into being in the table. And it is a matter of you choosing what kind of reality do you want to launch. This is very important at this time because there is so much going on in the world. So much darkness too, that human being, it is vibrating with so much fear. And here is the situation. Fear, it only will create and perpetuate the same thing. That is exactly what they want you to be, in fear. Yet when you know that there is a different dimensions, when there is a different story, and you recognize it as a possibility right there in the table, you do need to choose consciously. What do you want to perpetuate? The path of being human, it is truly amazing. It's very beautiful because it is inside of you. You're born with that original vibration. And you never really lose it, because nothing it is really lost. It is true that when you were growing up, somebody tells you you're supposed to be like somebody else. Don't say who you are because you're not going to receive love. All these situations that they lie to you. Nobody sit with you and explain to you that you are life. They tell you, you live your life, and whatever it is in life, you need to just deal with it. Instead of you have a choice. They tell you, you need to go and look for love. Instead of you are love, and you have always been love. And you're beautiful. They tell you too, nobody's perfect. And that is a lie. Why? Because the Creator always do perfect things. So a flower is perfect, but you're not perfect. You have your uniqueness, and that's your perfection. You have your original vibration, that through that original vibration that you're born with, you are connecting with the multiverse. You're part of the big, beautiful orchestra of the universe. For the one is contained in the whole, and the whole is contained in the one. This is a powerful law, a law that comes from the Father. Means that there is not one dimension with the absence of God, Goddess. All, it is part of it, just different lessons. Different lessons is very important. You see, in the system, they tell you, you are your experiences in life. then you hold on into those experiences thinking that this is who you are, a victim, a trauma. And you begin to relate with it and keep on perpetuating because that's how you choose. That is a big, big lie. Because you're not your experiences. There is an energy in every experience. And that energy behind the experiences is your lesson. Did you learn that lesson? If you put attention and get as a lesson, you don't need to repeat the same thing over and over and over again. It's like people think that watching a movie several times, something in the movie is going to change. And it is not. It's going to be the same movie over and over and over again. Yet you have the ability to change the channel. So you can choose. You have all these incredible possibilities. So when we think about the path, the deer, you see, these are the pathfinders. Your path is very, very unique. And it is really up to you. Nobody can see your perception of reality, but just you. This perception of reality is so completely unique that it will change as you move your frequency range. It is the time to remember that time of unity, that time where you were able to recognize the vibration of each tree and each flower because you recognize your own vibration, your own signature. It is the time to recognize yourself as love. You are the son, you are the daughter of the creators, and you're bounded with your creations, just like Father Mother is also bonded inside of you in one way or the other, and yet it is up to you if you want to recognize her, for she is recognizing you. Just like you see your children and you look at them and you can feel them, you know them, you recognize them no matter what. It is so powerful and it is so beautiful. It is divine, actually. And that divinity is in you. If you translate all these situations and you recognize that truth that you are, and you ask yourself, show me the true human being in me. Immediately you begin to connect with this part of the brain that remembers. Write it down. I really suggest you to write it down. Go deeper and deeper in what do you remember beyond that thick layer of separation and pain and suffering. And remember this place within yourself, that it is through that connection with the one that created you. All these beautiful situations are coming into being in this time and space when you find the path of the true human being. I remind you that we have a school online where we make so many spiritual work. We are working right now in different groups of PPF, and that's present, past, and future. And oh my gosh, people is blooming in that remembrance. It has been very powerful times. We also have the app, Messages from the Great Mother. And it is available in your phone. Doesn't matter what kind of a phone you have. The mother wants you to know that she is always in you. So it is little messages so unique, in that perfect synchronicity in your life. Something that you needed to hear. We're having Vision Quest next month. Send me an email if you want to participate. I am so happy to be with you today. Thank you for being you and for your spiritual work. I am you. Tlatsokomati, Tlatsokomati, Tlatsokomati.